guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying out some makeup products, and there are some winners in here that are extremely affordable. So if you would like to see me test out some makeup products and learn how I got this makeup look right here, please keep watching. Today I'm going to be testing out some new makeup products. Some are high-end and some are drugstore. So we have a little mix of stuff here. As always though, I'm going to use a foundation that I know that I already like because I feel like that gives the other products a fair chance. So for primer, I'm going to be trying out this Catrice Light Correcting Serum Primer in the shade Candlelight. First, I need some more moisture, so I'm using my Clinique Moisture. Let me eat it all. Moisture Surge Spray. So this says, liquid primer with aloe vera contains light reflecting pigments for a subtle glow on the skin like flattering candlelight shimmer. Use alone or under makeup. Shake well. So you do get a little dropper. I don't really know. Oh. Ew. Well. Let me wipe that off. Gross. It was like stuck in the dropper. I guess we'll just do four drops. It seems kind of, it's like thick and runny. For me, this feels really thin. It doesn't really feel like a primer. Ooh. So it's a really thin consistency, but it feels sticky. And it did leave a subtle glow. Okay. So for foundation, I'm just going to use one that I know that I already like. So which one do I want to use? I'm going to use this. This is the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. I did a whole video testing this out. And I feel like I only needed one pump and I mixed out two. This foundation is so weird because it looks really yellow and it goes on kind of yellow, but it has like skin matching thingies in there. So after it like dries down, it like kind of matches my skin tone, and that's one of the claims, which is like totally weird. This is in the shade 3. Just using a Morphe brush. I definitely don't remember this foundation ever clinging to my dry patches. So might be because of this. I feel like that Catrice primer made my foundation cling to my dry patches, which is totally weird. Maybe this primer would work better with a dewy luminous foundation, or if you have dry skin. I mean, no, I have dry skin. Or if you have oily skin and you want a glow but you don't want to use a dewy luminous foundation, this might be good for you, but I feel like it made my foundation cling to my dry patches and I don't like that. So anyways, this next thing I'm going to be trying out is super weird. This is the e.l.f. under eye primer. It's supposed to, you're supposed to pat it in and it's supposed to fill in any fine lines, and it's supposed to be a primer for your concealer. So I'm just going to, and it does have like a waxy silicone kind of feel. So I'm just gonna press that into my under eye, and when I hauled this in my e.l.f. haul, it did say it needed to set into the skin for at least 30 seconds. Oh, I don't know how well this is going to work on me. I don't really have any fine lines under my eyes, but I wonder if this will help my concealer from creasing, because that would be cool. So I'm just gonna let that, so this is what it looks like. I'm just gonna let that sit for 30 seconds, I guess. So for concealer, I'm gonna be trying out the Morphe concealer. I have two shades right here. They both look different, that's weird. So I have one in the shade Nude, and then the other one is in the shade Sand. But It's weird. I got them from the Morphe store at the exact same time, but they're in two different, complete different packaging. So maybe this is like the newer packaging and this is the older one. I don't know. So I think this one is more so my skin tone. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade Sand today. I think it's been 30 seconds, right? So let's try this out. This looks dried out. So it's a flat doe foot. Weird. Mine feels like it's already dried out, like it's bad. Like it looks like a dried out liquid lipstick. Unless that's like what the consistency is supposed to be. Yeah, weird. I don't know if you guys can see that. Unless I got two bad ones, I don't know. That consistency is weird. So as always, I'm gonna use my Morphe E45 to blend this out. That's a really weird formula. It's like thick and like for real, it reminds me of a liquid lipstick that got dried out. But it's blending out nicely. I think I put way too much on my chin. I don't know if this is supposed to be full coverage, but I think it is. So then I just like to go back in with my foundation brush and just further blend that into my skin, just so it blends into my foundation and I just don't have like triangles. So that consistency is super weird. I feel like maybe I should have mixed in a little bit of that other one. I'm just gonna use this dry sponge to blend out my nose. I feel like my chin looks really cakey up close, which is weird because that foundation, I just used it a couple of times already because I did a foundation first impression on it and it was just fine. So I don't really know what's going on. Now my whole face just looks like really cakey, especially my under eye. Can you guys see how cakey my skin looks? So I have never had to wipe off my makeup before from filming one of these like full face first impressions, but I feel like I might actually have to wipe it off when I'm done because I don't like how this looks at all. Yikes. Should we try a little bit of this? Or is that just really gonna ruin everything? That might just ruin everything. Let's try a little bit of this. I was gonna use this to set my makeup, but let's put on some now and see what happens. This is the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. Hopefully this doesn't just mess everything up. Smells like coconuts. I've never sprayed setting spray on top of just foundation and concealer. This is a first for me. So let's hope I didn't just mess everything up. It doesn't really look like it helped. My forehead's, dang, like my skin is so cakey. I don't even know what to do. It just does not look good. It just looks so cakey, like right here. And my chin looks the worst. So to set my under eye, oh goodness. Normally, I don't think I've ever filmed a full face first impressions where everything, like my base was a bust. So this kind of scares me. But I'm gonna go in with the JCat Luxe Pro Powder in the shade Porcelain. This reminds me of like the Ben Nye powders. I've never tried this before, so I'm gonna use this to set my concealer. I'm just gonna dump some in the cap. It does look like it has like a little bit of a pink tint to it, which I think will really help like brighten up my under eye. Hopefully it doesn't make them look even more cakey, so we'll see. I'm just gonna use this Morphe M536. I really like this to set my under eyes. So I'm just gonna dip into that powder. I'm just gonna like tap off the excess on my hand, and I'm gonna go back through and get out some of those creases. What do you guys think? I mean, it definitely mattified my under eye, but I mean, it did take away a little bit of the brightness, or a lot of it. And I don't think that e.l.f. Oh goodness, it's really cakey, like right there in the corner of my eye. I don't know why. I have an appointment today for a laser hair removal, and like I don't even know if I want to wear this out of the house. Dang. So I'm gonna use this to set everywhere I applied concealer. I mean, I think the powder's nice. It feels really like fine and soft. This is a powder that I would like to set my face like on a regular, or not my face, but my concealer areas. So I like this powder. I just think my base is just not good. Like, it is so cakey right here in this inner corner. Moving on to brows, I'm going to be trying out this Profusion Cosmetics brow palette. I like how this is like set up. So you have a taupe shade right here, a light brown, then you have a brow highlight, and then the brow wax. I never use brow wax, but let's go ahead and use it today. So I'm just gonna run my Anastasia number 12 brush into the wax. I don't really know how you're supposed to apply wax on brows, but that's how I'm gonna do it. Maybe that's not good, I don't know. And then I'm just gonna brush them up. Like, do you use your finger for the wax? I don't know. So I'm just gonna brush them up, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Taupe first, and then I'll use the shade Soft Brown for like the tail. And I'm gonna use this Kat Von D brow powder brush. This is what it looks like. It has like little teeth on it. I like brow powders to like set my brows, but I prefer to use a pomade. So we'll see. Now I'm going to dip into soft brown for the tail. And then I'm just going to mix taupe and brown. I like the little teeth on this Kat Von D brush because I feel like it helps me like make more realistic looking hairs up here in the front. So that's not a bad powder at all. I actually really like it. I just think I would like it more if I was using it to kind of fill in my brows, because I like the pomade more because I feel like the pomade just like defines my brow more, but this gives me more of like a natural looking brow, which I like actually. So I feel like I only like this brush for the front part of my brows. Like, it's a little too flimsy for me to kind of like fill in my whole brows. I feel like that Kat Von D powder brow brush would be good for like super natural brows, or if you already had full brows and you just needed to like fill in like little areas. I think you would really like that brush, but I need something that's a little bit more like stiff. So I'm just using the Anastasia number 12 brush. But I do like this brow kit. Usually this is my good brow and this is my bad brow, but now it's like the other way around this time. Yeah, I do really like this brow kit. I'm just gonna take this ColourPop pencil just to deepen up my tail a little bit. So let's try this. It is a little powdery. Let's try this brow highlight, and I'm just gonna use the end of this Profusion like dual ended brush. I really like this. It comes in the eyeshadow palettes, and I'm just gonna use that. So it's just a matte white. Like, there's no shimmer in it or anything. So I don't really like the brow highlights in here, unless you want like a matte brow highlight. But I do like the wax, which I mean, like, can you really go wrong with wax? I don't know, but I do like the shades of these brow powders. I think they look good. So to set my brows, I'm going to be trying out this Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, and this is in the shade Blonde. This is what it looks like. Let's see what the wand looks like. Oh, it's like a comb Oh my god. I don't know about this. Ooh, it almost like puts off too much product at once. I do like the applicator. I just feel like if this is something I'm going to continue to use, I should probably wipe off some of the product because a lot is on there. I do feel like it's giving me thicker brows. Okay, I like this. I like this. So far, my favorite thing from this video is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer and the Profusion Brow Kit. So to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be trying out the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder, and I have the shade Medium. So we'll see. I'm going to be taking this brush right here. I found it at Marshall's. It's so cute. I'm just going to dip in there and just press into the areas that I didn't set with that J-Cat powder. J-Cat powder, my bad. This feels like a nice powder. I like this powder. It'd be nice to throw in my purse too, just to like touch up throughout the day. Moving on to bronzer, I'm going to be trying this NYC Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder. This is what it looks like. It's in the shade All Over Bronze Glow. I think I got mine off at Amazon. I don't think I've ever tried a bronzer that looks like this, so I'm a little nervous. I'm using my Morphe E3 brush. It's my favorite brush to bronze with. That's a pretty bronzer. Normally I like true bronzer shades or kind of like camel-y shades, and I feel like this is a mixture of warm and like a true bronzer shade. I guess it's pulling more warm though, but I kind of like it. True test is what it looks like on the forehead, I feel. I'm also going to use a little bit of it to contour my nose, which could be a bad idea. See. And my lips. Yeah, I don't think that looks bad at all. I like this. For blush, I'm going to be trying out the Balm Frat Boy blush. Isn't this packaging like so cute? It's kind of like a dusty pink, if you will. I feel like this blush would probably go with any eye look, any makeup look you wanted to do. Oh, and look at this. So this is like a football field. Ooh, that I barely dipped in there and that is pigmented. I dipped in there once and that's like both my cheeks. I like this too. It is a matte blush, so now I'm just going to use my stippling brush real quick. For highlighter, I'm so excited to try this. I swatched it in a haul. This is the Profusion Highlight Brighter Than Your Future palette. I found this at TJ Maxx for $6. So this is what it looks like. You do get a mirror and you get 5 different highlights in a brush, but I don't use those little brushes. So I think I'm going to take a mixture of, I'm going to mix Soft Peach right here and Bronze Shimmer. Ooh, it's really pigmented. This is so pretty. Like, I knew it would be because when I swatched it, I was like, oh my god. And this is pretty intense, and I'm using a dry brush, so can you imagine if you got your brush wet? It would be really blinding. That's really pretty. Oh man, I was gonna try out this Hoola Quickie contour stick and I totally forgot. So moving on to eyes, I'm gonna be, I guess we're just testing out Profusion products. I'm gonna be trying out this Profusion Sultry palette. I got mine at Target and the brushes in here are really good. Like I have two sitting at my desk right now that I use. It has a flat shader brush on one side and then a crease brush on the other. So I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Ideal right here just to put all over the lid. This is a little powdery, but this whole palette was only $10. So for transition, I'm gonna go in the shade called Wonder right here. It's like a matte orange. I mean, they are really powdery, but I just stuck my brush in a different shade. So I accidentally mixed the two orange shades. They're really powdery, but I mixed Static and Wonder together for my transition shade. Look how nice that looks. That's really pigmented. Granted, there is a lot of kickback, but I'm not really sure what kind of eye look I want to do today. These shimmer shades right here look gorgeous, so I kind of want to apply them. I bet they would look really pretty as like a cut crease. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's do a green eyeshadow look today. Let's take the shade right here called Upbeat. I'm just gonna throw that in the crease. It's a little shimmery, so we'll just have to see. Trying to blend this shimmer shade into the crease isn't going very well. Yeah, we might not be able to do that. So I'm just gonna take the shade Thrash, which is this shade right here. No, wait, it's this shade. So I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's called Thrash. And I'm gonna use the flat shader brush on the other side. And I'm just gonna try applying this all over the lid. But I feel like I'm gonna have to use my finger. Yeah, I gotta use my finger for this. Look how pretty this is. It's like a deep emerald green. Look how pretty that is. Guys, this palette is $10. That's gorgeous. So now I'm just gonna work a little bit of that Thrash shade into my crease. So I'm just taking the other side of that brush and just kind of blending that into the crease. Like, I wish they would have included like a matte dark green in this palette, but so I'm going to take my MAC 242, it's a MAC Fix Plus, and then I'm going to get into Thrash again and apply it onto my lid. This would be a good, like, Christmas look too. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to wait for that to dry. And then I'm going to blend a little bit more of that shade into the crease. So I don't just have like a line, you know, from the lid shade. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of this shade right here. It's called Jealous. And I'm just going to put that in the center. So I'm just going to work a little bit of Thrash back into the crease. Because I don't want like a harsh line right there. So now I'm just going to go back in with Wonder and Ecstatic, the two orange shades, mix them. And I'm just going to add those back because I blended them away. So you definitely need to be careful because they are powdery. I got like some darkness right there. So I'm just going in with my concealer brush to try to fix that. Let's take this shade right here called Gleam, and I'm going to use that for a brow highlight and an inner corner highlight. I'm just going to use this IBY Beauty brush and just add a little bit of that. The shimmer shades in this palette, I'm obsessed. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to go back in with the two orange shades. They are called Ecstatic and Wonder. I'm just going to mix the two again. And just put those on the lower lash line. They're so pigmented. Like, look how pigmented that is. For a $10 drugstore palette. To deepen up the lower lash line, I'm just going to keep the green on the lid and I'm just going to take a brown. So let's just go in with the shade Zing. Where was that again? This brown shade right here. If you can see it, this one right here. And then if I need to deepen up the outer V, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is called Risky. And I'm just taking a Morphe pencil brush. And I'm just gonna blend underneath there. Now I'm just gonna take that dark brown shade that I showed you called Risky and just work that, wow, on the outer portion and just kind of blend to the center. I'm impressed with this palette. I'm just gonna go back in with this Morphe E17 and just buff underneath there. I'm just gonna apply some lower lash mascara. This is Rimmel Lash Accelerator. This is my favorite eyeliner to use. This is MAC Costa Riche. I'm just gonna run that in my waterline. So the last couple of things we have to try out is lip products. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my face now. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I don't like the sprayer on that. It like shoots out like tiny globs almost. So for lips, I'm going to be trying out this LA Girl Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner. This is in the shade Nonstop Nude. And it is like a twist up, so you don't have to worry about sharpening it, which is always a plus. That's really creamy. Then I'm going to be trying out a ColourPop lipstick. I have a bunch of these, but I've never tried them. This is in the shade Appy, and it's a pretty nude shade. And I think this is so cool, but they have like stars like engraved in there. This feels really good on my lips. So I like that lip liner, but it's almost like too creamy to where it's really easy to like go out of line. So this looks pretty on its own, but I want to try out a gloss. So I'm going to be trying out, I think this is a new formula. This is the Kylie Jordan collection, I think. And this is in the shade Partner in Crime. It's one of her high glosses. So I want to try this out. The doe foot is massive. And I like to apply my glosses on the back of my hand because I don't like to mix whatever lip color I'm wearing like into the lip gloss tube. So I'm just going to apply this with my ring finger. Ooh, pretty. That's really pretty. It's not super glossy though. I was kind of expecting it to be really glossy, but it's almost like more pigmented than it is glossy, but it is a really pretty shade. So I'm finished. I feel like my skin looks a little bit better now that I doused it in that dewy skin mist, but it still looks a little cakey there. The eyeshadow helped cover up the cakiness there, but my chin is cakey. But it doesn't look so terribly bad that I'm gonna take it off. I was actually contemplating whether or not I was gonna take it off before I went to my laser hair removal appointment. Ooh, my nose looks rough though up close. My nose looks really patchy right there. So now that I'm finished, let's go ahead and go over everything that I tested out. So I guess we'll go ahead and start with the lip products. We have the LA Girl lip liner in the shade Nonstop Nude. This is a really pretty color. I love that it's creamy, but it's almost too creamy to where I did mess up a little bit. So maybe after I've had it for a little while, maybe it'll kind of like dry out and then it'll work better, but I do like this. Then we have the ColourPop Appy lipstick. I really like this too. I'm glad I have like 10 shades sitting behind me. I really like this a lot. That lipstick felt so good on my lips. Then we have the Kylie High Shine Gloss in Partner in Crime. This isn't normally like a shade that I would buy, but it came in the whole bundle that I bought. I was expecting it to be like way more glossy and less pigmented, but it is a nice gloss, but this is not a shade that I would wear all the time. Then we have the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I love that it smells like coconuts. I hate the nozzle on it. The sprayer is not the best, but I do feel like it didn't leave my skin dewy like at all, but I do think it helped my skin not look as cakey. But as you can tell, like my skin like just doesn't, to me, doesn't look dewy like at all. So next we have the Profusion Sultry Palette. I highly recommend this. Man, like these shimmer colors are no joke. They're so gorgeous, and for $10, oh my god, I definitely recommend this. This might be my favorite thing in the whole entire video that I tested out. Then we have the Catrice Light Correcting Serum Primer in Candlelight. I think this might be the reason why my foundation looks so cakey. So I feel like this would probably, I would need to mix it in with a more moisturizing primer. Like I don't think I could wear this by itself, but I do think that if you have oily skin and you want more of a glow, this would be good for you. But since I do have dry skin, I don't think I could just wear this by itself. Then we have the NYC Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder in the shade All Over Bronze Glow. I like this, and I don't normally like warm bronzers, but I do really like this. Next we have the JCat Luxe Pro Powder in the shade Porcelain. This is a really soft, fine powder. I really like it, but again, I feel like since my base was kind of messed up, I feel like it kind of ruined it, but I feel like I would really like this to set my concealer on any other day except for this one. So I do recommend this. Then we have the Balm Frat Boy Blush. I really like this too. This is definitely really pigmented, so you're getting your money's worth because you barely need to tap in there, and it's like both my cheeks are done. So I really, really like this, and I like that it's matte, and I just really like the shade. Then we have the ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in the shade Medium. I really, really like this too. It's such a, it's kind of like a thicker feeling powder, but I do like how it set my face, and I feel like this would be really good to throw in my purse just for touch-ups throughout the day. Then we have the Profusion Highlight Brighter Than Your Future palette. You guys, this speaks for itself. So this is gorgeous. I love that you have 5 shades, and I feel like I would be able to wear all 5 shades, so that is awesome. Then we have the Morphe concealers. Dude, the formula of this is weird, but they did blend out nicely. Like I kind of want to touch, I want to look at the testers next time I go into Morphe and see if that's what it's supposed to look like, because it seriously reminds me of like a dried out liquid lip. So yeah, but I mean, I like how it blended out. I'd be curious to see how it blends out with a damp sponge, but I'm on the fence about these because I don't know if that's how the formula is supposed to be. So if you've tried these Morphe concealers, let me know if that's just how they are in the comments below. Then I tried out the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. Love this stuff. Definitely will be reaching for it. Then I have the Profusion Cosmetics Brow Palette. I really like this too, but only for the brow powders and the wax. I didn't really care for the brow highlight. Profusion's killing it. Everything I tried from Profusion in this video is really good. Then the last thing I tried out was this e.l.f. under eye primer that's supposed to get rid of fine lines and prep for concealer. I don't really have fine lines, so I don't have an opinion about this, but it is an interesting product. So I will definitely use it a couple more times just to see, because it's super intriguing to me. But if you have fine lines and wrinkles underneath your eyes, I suggest trying this out. It is really affordable, and you can always return it, but I would test this out if you have those. So I think that's everything that I tried out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this full face of first impressions, minus the foundation. But please subscribe on your way out if you haven't already and you would like to see more of me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.